battle continues between Dr. Otto Octavius and Peter Parker Spider-Man. Who will control each other's mind? Find out in Superior Spider-Man issue number 9. Reviewed by none other than Mike Spider-Slayer. Enjoy.
Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Owner 2.0. That's right, guys. And you're with me, Mike Spider-Slayer, getting ready to do another comic book review. And this one is a biggie. It is a biggie for me, and it's an upsetting issue for me. This is harder than Amazing Spider-Man issue 700. This one hurts. And this one is the Superior Spider-Man issue number 9. This book is Amazing Spider-Man at its finest, because for once in about 9 issues, 10 issues or so, we got to see Peter Parker do one last battle against Dr. Octopus, the way that we all know and really love Peter. And this book is upsetting. I'm actually getting choked up about this. This is crazy. It's a comic. Anyway, Peter Parker, we all know, has been fighting Dr. Octopus in his brain for a long time. And it's Spider-Man, or Peter, it's all his memories that are in Dr. Octavius's head or whatever. He lived to, we all know the story that Octavius actually is Spider-Man, and all his memories are inside, and it's created a actual thing inside of Octavius's head that creates Spider-Man. It's all explained phenomenally if you do the AR on this book from Dan Slott, and you know, that's how it is. I'm sorry this is starting off rough. In all reality, Dr. Octopus sits on the chair. He puts on the brain machine like we see here, and he's getting ready to mind swipe Peter Parker's mind. Okay, and the battle that happens in this issue is astronomical. It's epic. It's phenomenal. And Dan Slott does a great job in writing this book, and Ryan Stegman is on the art. He's back at doing the art in this book, and it was just a treat to see. But we can see here that Otto is in the chair getting ready to mind swipe, and Peter fights right away. You can see that arm that he's been controlling, trying to stop him. He restrains him, and in the issue, it dives down right into the brain of Peter Parker, and there's Peter right there. And this is the first time that you've really seen him, like, for real in a long time. And Octavius creates this mind swipe, and you see things that you just would see in a movie. This issue is really dark, and it's a little creepy at times, but you can see that the Daily Bugle sits there and actually you know, gets crumbled down, and Peter fights it with all his might. He's truly fighting it, and you can see that Octavius is fighting it. I mean, sweat's coming down. The details in this book was done very good, and right away you get to see this classic stuff, classic Dr. Octopus right here with the old technical arms and old costume, and the way he looks in the past, and not all, you know, robotic and everything, how we saw him in recent issues. And right away you get to see this battle that forms between the two, and this is the battle of the minds right here, and this is what happens. And Dr. Octopus, again, he's going for all contingencies, and just as you think that Peter, you know, it's Peter's world, it's his brain, and he's going to get everyone to help him, like Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane and J. Jonah Jameson, to try to stop him. It drastically changes right away, and all of a sudden Octavius brings out all the classic villains of Amazing Spider-Man, Like, to me, this is the Amazing Spider-Man finale that we really should have seen at 700. 700 was good, but this is the true epic conclusion to what's going on in this whole thing. And you get to see Goblin and Beetle and all these great characters that you learn to love in the Spider-Man universe. And they do this battle, and they just go back and forth with each other. And how Peter just sits there, and you've let this go, and you've let this go, and you promise to be responsible. And it's just so super creepy and dark, and Peter just sits there, and he pulls off his face, and he sits there and reveals the true Amazing Spider-Man. And he just sits there, and he lunges out, and you truly get to see the true Spider-Man of the red and blue, not the superior costume. And you're like, yeah, Spidey. And in this issue, you're like truly going for him. You're sitting there going, come on, Peter. And we kind of all know the outcome because it's been spoiled. We've seen covers and things like that. But you can't help when you're reading this issue. You truly can't help but go for him. Go pull out of this shit, dude. Pull out of it. You know, pull a fast one on us. Make us all wrong that we thought that Superior is going to come up on top. And you see him clocking Dr. Octopus, just taking him out, punching him back and forth. And then the next thing is after Peter sits there and says, you promised to be responsible. You promised. And he goes, you're right. I am going to be responsible. And he basically turns the tables on Peter, and he rips off his face. And he says he's going to be the responsible one. And you're like, oh my God, no way. And they start doing battle against each other. And just Octavius makes Peter feel like complete dog shit. Makes him feel like crap. Like when he talks about the Vulture, when he let him live. And the Vulture takes kids to use them as foot soldiers. And when he freaking sits there and he says he put Massacre behind Massacre behind bars, he killed another 30 people. And how Peter Parker, tried to stop him from using the mind machine to help the little girl who had brain problems. And he made him feel like crap. And it makes you feel like, oh my God, that's horrible. And right as he breaks Peter Parker down to his lowest point, boom, mind swipe. Sits there, starts erasing everything from Peter. And then all of a sudden you see that poor Peter. He can't even remember his name. And at the end of the issue, all you see is that he says, I'm free. And Superior comes up at top. I'm sorry I spoiled this for you guys, but I'll put spoilers in the comments below. But man, this was a touching, heartbreaking issue for Peter Parker and all his fans. And this shows now that you're not going to have Ghost Peter anymore. We saw him in the first issue when we were all like, oh, why couldn't they bring Ghost Peter back later? Well, this is the reason why. This is the true death of Peter Parker now. There's no more Ghost. It's just Superior. Are they going to bring him back? What do you guys think? I don't know. I was just in awe in this whole thing. And what is Superior going to do now without Peter on his ear, chirping all the time? It's going to be crazy. He can be a complete asshole. He can be bad. He can kill people. He can do whatever he wants. So for a lot of people that are looking for the darker Spider-Man now, without Peter Parker, this might be the time now where you actually read it, if you're looking for a true change. Because Peter's gone. And that's all there is. No more Peter. This was a great issue, guys. It's sad to see Peter go. It truly was. But this was like an amazing Spider-Man title. This was what it was, for me, at least. One of my favorite issues that I've read in a while. And this is better than issue 700. It's not supersized or anything. Just a great issue. And like I showed you, I was upset because I immediately did this video after I read this book. I literally turned on the camera and actually doing this video right now. Great book. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. It was well written. The action was really good. The art Everything, all the details were done very nicely. Stegman was at his finest in this actual book. Even Doc Ock in like little pictures and shadows and things like that, it was done phenomenally. Pictures like that was done so well. Octopus just sitting there chasing Peter down off the landscaping, just done so well, guys. If you haven't read Spider-Man or Superior because you dropped it because of what happened, just pick up this issue and at least read this issue. I'm a very passionate Spider-Man fan, so maybe it might be a better grade than maybe other people might give it, but it was a great and phenomenal issue. Again, I cannot say that more than 100 times. But guys, please tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear everyone's thoughts on this particular issue. So guys, that's all I have for now. And until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. You guys, thank you for watching the Comic Book Corner.